The Giants are teetering on the edge of the abyss. In a night of pure cricketing theatre at Pallekele, Sri Lanka has not only secured their place in the Super 8s but has pushed the mighty Australia to the very brink of World Cup elimination. We just witnessed a historic masterclass that saw records tumble and a dominant opening stand turn into a catastrophic collapse. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. From the brutal power of Mitchell Marsh to the record-breaking brilliance of Pathum Nissanka, Match 30 of the T20 World Cup 2026 has changed the landscape of the tournament forever. Australia walked into the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium knowing they needed a clinical performance. With captain Mitchell Marsh returning to the side, the intent was clear from the first ball. Alongside Travis Head, the Australian openers unleashed an absolute onslaught. They raced to 100 runs in just 8.2 overs, the fastest team century in T20 World Cup history on Sri Lankan soil. Mitchell Marsh looked like he had never been away, smashing 54 off 27 balls, while Travis Head continued his aggressive form with a 29-ball 56. At 104 for no loss in the 9th over, it looked like Sri Lanka was in for a long, painful night, especially after their pace spearhead Mathesha Patharana was forced off the field with a calf injury just 4 balls into his spell. But then, the tide turned in a way no one expected. Sri Lanka turned to their spin department, and the game flipped on its head. Dushan Hemantha became the hero of the hour, tossing the ball up with courage and finding the breakthrough by removing the dangerous Travis Head. That wicket opened the floodgates. Australia went from 104 for 0 to losing all 10 wickets for just 77 runs. Dushan Hemantha was the primary architect of this destruction, finishing with 3 for 37, including the massive wickets of Mitchell Marsh and Glenn Maxwell. Dunath Wellalage and Mitchell Mendis piled on the pressure, while Dushmantha Kamira provided a clinical finish at the death to bowl Australia out for 181. The chase was all about one man, Pathum Nissanka. Despite losing Kusal Pereira early to Marcus Stoinis, the Sri Lankan opener remained completely unfazed. He found the perfect partner in Kusal Mendis, and together they began to dismantle the Australian bowling attack. They put on 97 runs for the second wicket, with Kusal Mendis playing a superb supporting role, scoring 51 to become the 5th batter to record 3 consecutive 50-plus scores in T20 World Cups. Even as the required rate hovered, Pathum Nissanka found another gear, taking a particular liking to the world-class Adam Zampa, who went wicketless for the second consecutive game, a rarity in his illustrious career. This performance by Sri Lanka has been nothing short of legendary. If you are enjoying this breakdown of one of the biggest upsets and individual performances of the 2026 World Cup, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for sports review. We want to hear from you in the comments. Is Pathum Nissanka currently the best T20 opener in the world? Let us know your thoughts below. As the game reached its climax, Pathum Nissanka moved from brilliance to history. He reached his century in just 52 balls, marking the joint second fastest T20 100 for Sri Lanka. More importantly, it was the first century ever scored against Australia in the history of the T20 World Cup. His unbeaten 100 featured 10 fours and 5 sixes, and his 79-run stand with Pavan Rathnayake ensured there were no late hiccups. Sri Lanka reached the target of 184 with 2 full overs to spare, sparking wild celebrations in the stands. The fallout of this match is massive. Sri Lanka has officially booked their spot in the Super 8s, showing incredible resilience to bounce back after losing their key bowler Mathesha Patharana early on. Their ability to take 10 wickets for 77 runs against a top-tier batting lineup like Australia proves their spin bowling depth is second to none. On the other hand, Australia is now in a desperate situation. They have lost back-to-back games after their shock defeat to Zimbabwe and now rely on other results to stay alive in the tournament. The fact that they couldn't defend 181 after a 100-run opening stand will lead to some very tough questions for the Australian management. A historic night in Kandy has left the cricket world in shock. Pathum Nissanka stands tall with the highest individual score ever for Sri Lanka in a T20 World Cup, and his team is marching on with massive momentum. For Australia, the lap of the gods is all that remains as they wait for the results of other Group B fixtures. Sri Lanka has proven they are the kings of their own conditions, and they are heading into the next round as a serious threat to anyone in their way. With Australia now facing a potential group stage exit, do you think this is the end of an era for this current squad, or can they still find a miracle path to the trophy?